Hola, hola, holas. Halos, halos. How you guys doing? Happy Wednesday, December 30th. I hope you guys had a nice Christmas. Oh wait, let me record from my end in case YouTube decides it's being all moody and like it's on his period and stuff, right? All right, guys, let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're around. It's being all moody. 1 second. All right, I'll just wait. Hello, guys. Buenos Doritos. It is Wednesday. I shall wait. I shall wait for the viewers to appear. Looks like it's raining outside. I shall wait. I am waiting. Were you guys like, she ain't coming? Can somebody, it says 5 are watching now. Can somebody, oh, thank you, Bug One. Hey, Bug One, what's up? Good morning. How you doing? What's going on? Hey, Brandon. Good morning. Top of the morning to ya. Top of the morning to ya. Top of the morning. What looks like, let me see. Go to the live studio. Can you guys? It's not going live here. I don't know, man. I think I'm gonna have to. Is that coming up? I mean, you know, I'm trying to use Restream along with OBS, and it's just like, it's the most frustrating thing because I might have to go to StreamYard. I really like Restream. Restream seems like it has more options, but I might have to go to StreamYard so I can stream on multiple platforms. And I tried working with the dude. Let me just try another dude. The dude was so frustrating. He's like, open this window and do this. I'm like, I did that. Everything he was telling me to do, I'm like, I already did it. And he's like, oh. I'm like, yeah, I did it. Like, I'm trying to tell you. And I'd send him screenshots. And it was so frustrating. Anyway. All right. I'm going to wait for a few more people to get on. Woo! And start doing the promos, start the show. I hope you guys had a great Christmas. I'm going to talk to some of you guys in the chat. Let's see what's going on with you guys. Hey, is it Lydell? Oh, hey, Lydell. Top of the morning to you. What's going on? What's going on? All right. Lisa Rose, do you follow Jeff Censored? Do you know that he died? Jeff Censored? No, I don't know. Hey, Megan Da. Do you follow Jeff Censored? No, I do not know who Jeff Censored is. I didn't know that he died. Hey, Tennessee. What's going on? Can't wait to take calls today. I was looking at my analytics, and it says most of the people subscribed on the channel are on YouTube around 1 o'clock. So I'm like, should I make the show 1 o'clock? I might start next week. I might start Friday. We'll see. I have to think about it and see. Sup, Jeffrey? What's up? How you doing? I might do that. Next week, I think I'm really trying to make it to DC on the 6th. I have not been out. I'm excited to go to meet people. So there might not be a show next week. If I go to DC, then I'm not going to be doing any live call-in shows. I'll probably do some live shows, like streaming as I'm walking around talking to people, but there's not gonna be any no, not gonna be any live shows next week, most likely. So for the next one. Alright guys, it's Tintin. I'm gonna start doing my promos for a second. Just wait for some more people to get on. Do you guys have a Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, or whatever you guys celebrate? I do not know. Whatever you do celebrate, I hope that you had a happy one. Alright guys, please join my email list if you have not already. I do not spam people. I don't think I've sent any emails out since I started this list, but I'm trying to build up my base because basically YouTube owns your information in relation to me, and I need to start an email list so I can just keep in contact with you no matter what happens, whether, you know, this channel is deplatformed or erased, or YouTube blows up or goes crazy or attacked by cyborgs, I don't know, by bots, whatever, and we lose touch with each other. This is the best way for you to keep in contact with me, because then I can shoot you guys an email and let you know where I'm at. And most likely I will be on, I'm on BitChute right now, so you can please join BitChute. That'd be great. Oh wow, I got quite a few people. Thank you. So I got some people here. I'm also on Brighteon, but I'm not really active yet. It's a little harder to post videos on Brighteon and Rumble. I'm on Rumble as well. I didn't put that one up there today, but I'm also on Steemit. I'm also on DTUBE. Alright. What? Okay. Did I put that? Alright, here. And then I'm also on Facebook, but we're being shadow banned there as well. We've been shadow banned for years there. I mean, we've been at like almost 6,000 people for almost, I don't know, 5 years. Like, we'll get a bunch of subscribers and then they'll just be like, what? Like, and they told us, basically, Facebook told us that they were going to stop promoting us because we post a lot about vaccines. And then it was kind of funny. And then if you go to the Facebook page, it says, careful, this page posts about vaccines. So anyway, you also can listen if you see me. That is me and the co-founder there. She is homeschooling right now and raising her children, which is more important than what I'm doing. And I'm not being sarcastic about that. Parents are, I think that's the hardest job ever, and the most important job ever. But we did a podcast. This channel started with the podcast years ago, like almost next year. I guess I don't remember what month we started it, but next 2021 would actually be 10 years. I've been researching for about 11 years and stuff, but we started our podcast 10 years ago. Or we started, Truther Talk was started 10 years ago next year, 2021, because we started in 2011. So these are all of our podcast episodes, and we actually interviewed quite a bit of awesome people. If you guys want to go and listen to our YouTube, our old podcast episodes, they are free on SoundCloud, so please give those a listen. Also, please sign up for my Conspiracy Realist course. This is really good for people that are really, starving for this information, that want to understand the truth and what it is. And I start with, what is conspiracy? I have 10 modules. It's over 11 hours of class of lectures and clips. I put clips in there too. It's not just me talking, so I make it exciting. I have a booklet, right? So it's like, you go through the course, you read the booklet, and you do your own research. And these are the modules that explains it. I have a little commercial. I'm not going to play a commercial today, but I mean, you can kind of go there. All of these are in the links. That's another way you can support this channel. Also, I would really, the biggest way I feel you can support is become a Patreon, patron. If you become a patron, you starts at a Subscribestar. You can either do it through Subscribestar or through Patreon, right? I got 8 patrons. Whoop, whoop. Thank you. All right, so it's getting up there. The idea is for me to have a bunch of small donors where I can really just quit everything I'm doing to make extra money and just focus solely on this and music, because those are the two things I want to do, this channel, music. And then, you know, it's cool. I really haven't taken on any sponsors, because big, you know, sponsors, or I don't really take large donors and stuff, because I don't like being told what to do, and I feel like once you do that, you become controlled. Not necessarily like by the Illuminati or by the man, but if you're accepting large amounts of money from certain people and you say something they don't like, they're gonna defund you, and then you're gonna watch what you say. So for me, I feel like the best way to kind of stay true to what I want this channel to be is you know, just have, if I have like, I don't know, like 1,000 people donating $5 a month, like, you know, that'd be great. That would be very sustainable for me. And then, you know, if it's more than that, then I can hire people. I can do more mini movies, and I can do more, you know, I can do more. I have so many ideas, but it takes a while for me to get stuff up, you know, and do things. I do everything myself. I do all my own editing. I do my shooting. I do my writing. I do my interviews. I design all the t-shirts, the art, the stuff that we sell, except for my friend Narciso that did the artwork at the shop, which I'm going to show you right now. But I mean, the Conspiracy City artwork and the Black Sheep Seas artwork, that was my friend Narciso. But I did all these memes. I did these bumper stickers. I designed a t-shirt. You know, those are for sale too. That's another way that you can support this channel. Can you see? Yeah, right. I did everything. I'm working on a couple of other t-shirts. Also, shameless plug for my music channel. That's going to be active within the next month. Thank you for the people that did support on the GoFundMe. I'm going to relaunch it. I sent your perks out yesterday, so hopefully you guys should get your perks. I sent out the digital handwritten lyrics. I sent out the artwork, the digital artwork. I sent out the single of the song. And if you did not get your perk and you donate it, please just email me at info@TrutherTalk.com, and I will get it out to you. It should be under Biavi though, not Truther Talk. So just remember that. Look into your spam box, your email box for Biavi. For the people that did donate, I will give you guys an EP when it comes out, since we didn't reach the goal. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the goal amount. Maybe it was a bit extreme because I was trying to maybe do too much too soon, I believe. So the amount was a little bit big because I was trying to do a film project and a movie and an album, and I think people were confused as to why I was trying to raise so much money, but it was for a film project, and I think a lot of people were confused about that. So I'm just going to basically break it down. I'm just going to focus on an EP. Hopefully by the end of next year I will have the whole album done, but I'm just going to focus on like a 4 to 5 song EP. And that's what the next campaign is going to be, and I'm going to relaunch that hopefully mid to late January. But the people that did donate, your money is going to go toward that. So, and you don't have to redonate if you want an EP. I'm just going to send that out to you in the summer when that's done. So, yeah, but check out the song I did about the lying ass media called Don't Believe It. And I also did a rap talking about, you have to listen to the rap. Anyway, and I have some other stuff I'm going to start uploading. So, also please sign up to my backup channel, TrutherTalkReborn. If I reach 1,000, which I am 41 subscribers away from, if you guys can help me get to 1,000, then I can remonetize that channel, and I'll have to play it a little more slick, so maybe they won't take it down. If they do, then fuck it, I'm not going to stop. But I'm basically, what I'm doing, I'm just diverting traffic over to other people, to my other platforms like BitChute and stuff. Right, so I'm on these platforms. I think it says on BitChute. All right, cool. Yeah, let's start a little bit with some comedy this morning. Hopefully they don't ding me for it. I'm only going to play a little bit, but I thought this was funny. I had to play it for you guys. Let me know. Would you guys let me know in the comments how the sound is? Would be great. Thanks.
Certain people I have no time for. Not just certain people.
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
I have no time for. Like if you're sexist or homophobic, or if you don't believe in conspiracy theories. Just don't understand, how do you not believe in any conspiracy theories? I understand not all of them, not most of them, but you don't believe in any conspiracy theory? You just think the government's just batting 1,000 and telling us the whole truth? That's a strong stance to take. And again, as I said before, I don't like talking about politics on stage or off stage. I don't like talking about things I don't feel like I'm truly knowledgeable in. But I do know this. Our government is placed in charge of all of its people. I'm a father who's been placed in charge of just one son. And I lie to that nigga all the time. I just love conspiracy theories.
All right, so I thought that was fun. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but I put the links in the bottom of the description section if you guys want to see it. So all right, so I wanted to talk a little bit today about the Great Reset. I know everybody has been talking about it. It's been going around. I keep saying, you guys, this is not about a virus. You know, people think is it really about a virus? Really? You see all the holes in the stories. You see, you know, how the ridiculousness of what's going on, how there's no logic about the virus, and the things I'm always talking about, how the homeless population is alive. There are no biohazard bins, you know. Homeless population didn't have any masks, and, you know, at the beginning, and you know, they weren't sanitizing, they weren't, social distancing. They have the worst immune systems because they're harsh weather. A lot of them are, you know, they eat junk food. They're, outside. A lot of them are drug addicts. Not all, but a lot of them are. You know, they're not in the best mental state. A lot of them too. There's a lot of sleep deprivation that goes on too when people living on the street, because it's like people are, you know, when you're sleeping and then people are constantly making them move and stuff like that, or you have to worry about getting your stuff stolen, or getting raped, or getting beat up. So, you know, those would be the first people that would die, right? We would have no homeless population if this disease was so rampant. That was one of the first things I thought about, and I noticed when they were talking about, oh my God, this disease, right? Why are we having curfew? Does the disease only come out after like 10, right? Why do we have to wear a mask when we walk to a table? But when we get to the table, we can like take off our mask. Is it because the mask is really polite and it only attacks you when you're not eating? You know, like, come on, guys. You know, the holes in the stories. What else are they talking about? The doctors coming out and saying that they're told to put COVID on the death certificate, the PCR tests being fake, them switching out, you know, people's illnesses and injuries for COVID, right? The comorbidity rate. So they're falsifying data, right? They're making people wear masks, and then the masks actually cause lung infections, which then you can say, oh, you got COVID. But if you don't know anything about like isolation, how it hasn't been isolated, then you can just be like, oh, like somebody will have pneumonia, but they'll just be like, oh, it's COVID, it's a lung infection, right? And there's just so much bullshit, right? And then all these companies they're just being forced to shut down, okay? But we can go to Costco. We can go to, you know, Amazon is breaking up all these monies where we're ordering online. I have to say I'm guilty. I order a lot of stuff online, you know, because, I mean, I do go out sometimes, but now I'm just tired of finding people because I'm not going to wear the fucking slave muzzle, you know. And then sometimes I can't get everything I need to get at the store. So it's just like, you know, it's not about a virus, you guys. So this Great Reset, I'm going to, in short, what the elites, the upper echelons of people, what they want to do is they want to basically cull the population, so make the population smaller, so it's less of us to fight back. They want to move everybody off of the rural areas into the urban areas. This is why all these fires too started too. It's not like these fires didn't just happen. These fires just haven't been happening the past few years. I really believe that they've been arson. If you ever look at Max Egan, he did a really good analysis of the Australian fires and how these were planned and how they siphoned the water off the land and how they were spraying aluminum and barium, which is basically stuff that sparkles are made out of when you for 4th of July. So the meaning is highly flammable. They said over 1 billion animals were killed. They don't care about people. They don't care about animals. They care about you. So all these people have to move. They're being burned off their land, even in California. Burned off their land. They've been wanting to build like a subway system, and people have not been wanting to sell their land or get off the property. So they're just going to take it anyway. They're just going to be like, oh, we'll just burn you out of your house. We'll just burn your land so we'll get what these want. These people will get what they want. Mainly because a lot of people are naive and they're just like, no, there's no conspiracies. Nobody ever gets together and plans these things. Right? It's so planned. It's so calculated. It's so diabolically brilliant. So it's like you have that. So basically you're moving people off the land so they become less independent. Right? You want them to become dependent, because if they don't have land to grow their own food, then they're gonna be forced to eat the lab-made meat and stuff that they grow in the cities. Or you don't want people being independent, because once they're independent, they can defy you. If people can move out, live off the grid, they don't have to rely on you for food or water or power or energy. They can tell you to fuck off. But if they don't have those things, then they're easily controlled. They're easily enslaved. So they basically want to move us out of the cities and make us slaves. And especially, a fast way to do this, especially in a country as independent as America, is to scare people with the false ass virus hoax. And it's sad to say, a lot of these tough guys, like I made that pussy video with the cat and stuff, but a lot of these guys that you say they're all tough, they're falling for it. Like pussies. Big ass 6'7" guys like cowering, wearing face masks and shit. Such a turn off. Seriously. And I'm not talking about if you have a job. I understand, okay? But I mean, when you're outside of your job and you're still scared, you're scared of a virus that you can't even see. You can't even see it. How do you know? Right? So I wanted to show you a part of this video, and then I also left the link to this in the change. Hold on. Is it changing? You can see this. All right. Well, I left the link. Okay, here it goes. Okay, I'm delayed. So this is not about a flipping virus, you guys. Like, come on, man, wake up. Who still thinks that? Please. I would say if you still think that, get off the channel. But I don't think most people subscribe to this channel think that. That's why they're here, because they're happy that somebody else is saying it instead of just going along with the bullshit. Okay. So I'm gonna play this for you. This was on American Homestead's channel. You guys are so awesome. You guys send me the best stuff. It's like I don't need research. I mean, I would like to hire researchers. If I get a steady stream of subscribers, and I can hire like a researcher, and I can hire people to help me with editing and stuff. That would be great. All right.
Over here at the Canadian Report. Now, this is like a link aggregator, kind of like Drudge. And a lot of you guys have seen this, because a lot of you guys have been sending me this link. But I just need to read this. We need to read this. So this was leaked, supposedly info into Trudeau, Justin Trudeau, crazies, 19 plan for 2021. All right, so let's read this. It says, "Dear Removed, I want to provide you some very important information. I'm a committee member within the Liberal Party of Canada. I sit within several committee groups, but the information I am providing is originating from the Strategic Planning Committee, which is steered by the PMO." Now, I'm going to read this fast because I have a lot to get through, and I want to get through all of it. And it's going to get really, really scary. Okay, but again, there's no reason to be scared, I don't think. I feel okay about this. I need to start off by saying that I'm not happy doing this, but I have to. As a Canadian, and more importantly, as a parent who wants a better future for not only my children, but for the other children as well. You know, it's the whole, he's a liberal because he's all like, it takes a village, right? The other reason I am doing this is because roughly 30% of the committee members are not pleased with the direction this will take Canada, but our opinions have been ignored and they plan on moving forward toward their goals. They have also made it very clear that nothing will stop the planned outcomes. The roadmap and aim was set out by the PMO and is as follows. Phase 1. In secondary lockdown restrictions on a rolling basis, starting with major metropolitan areas first and expanding outward. This is already happening right now, November 2020. New York is shutting down schools, they announced today. California is in their second lockdown. The other communities, states, metropolitan areas are going into their second lockdown now, November 2020. Rush the acquisition of or construction of isolation facilities across every province and territory expected by December 2020. Now you might say, oh, this is just for Canada. Hold on to your hats. Daily new cases of COVID-19 will surge beyond capacity of testing, including increases in COVID-related deaths following the same growth curves expected by the end of November 2020. Complete and total secondary lockdown, much stricter than the first and second rolling phase restrictions, that was the one talked about up here, expected by the end of December 2020, that's next month, or early January 2021. Reform and expansion of the unemployment program to be transitioned into the Universal Basic Income Program expected by Q1 2021. That's when they start. That's when helicopter Ben Bernanke and all of his friends start getting, firing up the helicopters and dropping money over all of the population. See, this is not just the U.S. This is talking about Canada, but it's going to be for everywhere, guys, everywhere. Universal Basic Income is when everyone gets paid to do nothing. Everyone gets paid to do nothing. Projected COVID-19 mutation and or co-infection with secondary virus referred as COVID-21, leading to a third wave with much higher mortality rate and higher rate of infection expected by February 2021. We don't even know if this is going to happen, but they're already predicting it. And if you've seen the trailer for the movie, was it Songbird? Is that it? Songbird? Someone in the chat post that up. Go watch that trailer after this. Make a note, write it down. I think it's Songbird. Go watch that movie trailer. Coming out, I think it's December, right? Like next month. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm not in the chat right now, so I'm reading this. Daily new cases of COVID-21, hospitalizations, and COVID-19 and COVID-21 related deaths will exceed medical care facilities. How do they know that? They just know it because they're planning it. Enhanced lockdown restrictions, referred to as third lockdown, will be implemented. Full travel restrictions will be imposed, including inter-province and inter-city, expected Q2 2021. So full travel restrictions will be imposed, including inter-province and inter-city. That's going to be a hard one to swallow. And they can do this in Canada. They can do this in Canada, and I'll tell you why they can't do it here. We'll go through that. It's just, hold on to your hats. It's going to get more fun. The ride's just going to get more interesting. Transitioning of individuals into the Universal Basic Income Program expected mid-quarter 2021. Projected supply chain breakdowns, inventory shortages, large economic instability expected Q2 2021. Deployment of military personnel into major metropolitan areas as well as major roadways to establish travel checkpoints, restrict travel and movement, provide logistical support to the area expected by Q3 2021. Now there it all goes. Let's read this guy's synopsis. Along with that provided roadmap, the Strategic Planning Committee was asked to design an effective way of transitioning Canadians to meet an unprecedented economic endeavor, one that would change the face of Canada and forever alter the lives of Canadians. What we were told was that in order to offset what was essentially an economic collapse on an international scale, the federal government was going to offer Canadians a total debt relief. This is how it works. The federal government will offer to eliminate all personal debts, mortgages, loans, credit cards, which all funding will be provided to Canada by the IMF, that's the International Monetary Fund. If you have been paying attention to the International Monetary Fund lately, if you think this is crazy, they have called for a new Bretton Woods. This has been in the news. If you've been paying attention, you have seen this. They have been calling for a new Bretton Woods. They're probably doing it right now. This is where the whole reset is coming from, the International Monetary Fund. Okay, under what will become known as the World Debt Reset Program. In exchange for acceptance of this total debt forgiveness, well, what do we get behind door number one, Johnny? The individual would forfeit ownership of any and all property and assets forever. The individual would also have to agree to partake in the COVID-19 and COVID-21 vaccination schedule, which would provide the individual with unrestricted travel and unrestricted living under, that's so great, living under a full lockdown through the use of Canada's Health Pass. And they will have something similar here. Committee members asked who would become the owner of the forfeited property and assets in that scenario, and what would happen to lenders or financial institutions. We were simply told the World Debt Reset Program will handle all of the details. Several committee members also questioned what would happen to individuals if they refused to participate in the World Debt Reset Program, or the Health Pass, or the vaccination schedule. And the answer we got was very troubling. Essentially, we were told it was our duty to make sure we came up with a plan to ensure that would never happen. We were told it was in the individual's best interest to participate. When several committee members pushed relentlessly to get an answer, we were told that those who refused would first live under the lockdown restrictions indefinitely, and that over a short period of time, as more Canadians transitioned into the debt forgiveness program, the ones who refused to participate would be deemed a public safety risk and would be relocated into isolation facilities. Once in those facilities, they would be given two options: participate in the debt forgiveness program and be released, or stay indefinitely in the isolation facility under the classification of a serious public health risk and have all their assets seized.
Oh, hell no. Okay, so let me just stop that right there. I'm not going to play this whole video. I'm just going to play, well, I'll play a little bit after I comment. But did you hear that shit? So it's like, okay, take the vaccine and we'll wipe away your debt. Or if you don't take the vaccine, we're going to put you in the fucking joy camp. It's the joy camp, like from 1984, right? It's not, but they're calling it isolation facilities. It's a fucking joy camp. It's the gulags. They're gonna put you in the gulags, in the joy camp, and they're gonna take your house anyway. So it's like, agree to let us take your house, or if you don't, right? Because it's like, if you sign up, what are you saying? You sign up for the debt release program, you have all your debt erased, but they're gonna own all your assets. So if you don't agree to that, they're gonna put you in the joy camp. And then they're going to take they're going to take what they want anyway. So what's the difference? I ain't taking that vaccine. You guys know how I feel about that. I told you my soul's prepared. So I'm not. Really scary, right? This is their plan, though. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. So let me just finish. It's almost done.
So, as you can imagine, after hearing all of this, turned into quite the heated discussion and escalated beyond anything I have ever witnessed before. In the end, it was implied by the PMO that the whole agenda will move forward no matter who agrees with it or not. That it won't just be Canada, but in fact, all nations will have similar roadmaps and agendas. That we will need to take advantage of the situations before us to promote change on a grander scale for the betterment of everyone. The members who were opposed and ones who brought up key issues that would arise from such a thing were completely ignored. Our opinions and concerns were ignored. We were simply told to just do it. All I know is that I don't like it, and I think it's going to place Canadians into a dark future. All right, so this was posted on the Canadian Report back in October 14th. It made its rounds. People were like, blah, blah. Okay, that's really scary, but come on. And then it started to pick up steam, and more and more people started coming out. And people started putting together the puzzle pieces with the IMF, what the IMF has been releasing, what they've been saying, and what has actually been going on. And everyone now, I mean, listen, most of America, people, if you're one of the 71 million people who voted for Trump, you know that this was not right. I mean, there is even if everything is on the up and up, the media has been totally insane about covering up and saying, "Don't look over here." They've been
Exactly. Okay, the rest of that it's in the description section, the comment section, if you want to see that whole video. It's like 45 minutes long, but anyway, I just wanted to put that out there because it's just like, how freaky is that, you guys? This is so, I mean, if you've been truthing for a while, you know, right? You know that, what am I trying to say? You know that, like, you know how, these people roll. But now they're just starting to come out and admit it because they feel like there's nothing. People, some especially places in Canada and like England and Australia where they've taken the people's guns. They know that people aren't gonna do anything, right? Or it's gonna be hard for them to fight back. I know people have their feelings about Alex Jones, but on Infowars, I think it was Devin McBreen though that did this. They did this really good segment, and I actually used it in one of my courses for the conspiracy, a realist course that I created. I forgot all about this. Is years ago though, but he did a really good segment on democide, which is the largest. Let me see if I can find it actually. Well, no, I'll use it another time, but. It's democide, and democide is basically when governments kill their own people, not like through war or anything, but when they kill their own people because they're not agreeing to go with whatever agenda the government wants. And the whole, I mean, this never fails. But what they found in the little mini movie or the segment that they did on this, but basically anytime every country, this government got them into giving up their guns, the people were killed. And that's what they tricked them into giving up the gun. It reminds me of the Twilight Zone to save man. Right? Have you ever seen that Twilight Zone to serve man? I'm going to spoil it for you guys. Hold on, let me put up my face. I'm just talking. I'm going to spoil it for you guys. To serve man. So to serve man was it was a Twilight Zone episode. It's one of the most popular ones. These aliens come down to Earth, and they're like, oh, they can't talk, but they can talk to through telepathy. And they're so amazing and so interesting, and everybody's all scared at first, and they're like, no, we're nice. We love humans. We want to make you guys better. We're like, while we're doing that, why don't you give up your guns? And, so they got everybody all around the world to give up their guns. They get everybody to give up all their nuclear weapons. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to take it. And then they took advantage of our egos as human beings and told us, that we were there to serve man. And the head alien carried around this book, and the translator, because basically the story is told through the eyes of a translator, and the translator tells, they're like, oh, like they figure out the code or their language, and they're like, oh, well, we're not finished the whole book, but we got the title of the book, To Serve Man. And then they're like, yeah, we're trying to serve you guys because we were looking down and we see all the problems that you have and we want to make it better. And then at the end of the episode, you find out To Serve Man is a cookbook, and they're basically coming down and farming humans so they can cook them and eat them. Sorry if spoiler. It's only like 30 minutes or so. You can probably find it on, I think they're on Netflix, or there are some. You might be able to find some episodes on YouTube. I found some Spanish ones. Some ones in Spanish. Mundo Desconocido is like the Spanish translation, right? For those of you guys who speak Spanish, you may be able to use subtitles if you don't want to do Netflix. But the Twilight Zone, man, the Twilight Zones are my favorite shows ever, and the closest show that's ever come to being as good as that and as prolific as Black Mirror, hands down. There are other shows that have tried, but I think Black Mirror has been the best. So, anyways, yeah, guys. All right, so I'm gonna start taking some live call-ins. Let me I forget where I put the windows. Where are the windows? Where are they? Okay, so yeah, smart cities. Soylent Green movie! Soylent Green is the best! I really hate a lot of the remakes that they're doing because I think that you're obsolete. Is it the old Twilight Zone, Denise? You're obsolete. Oh, I have the Twilight Zone. So, I lost my train of thought again. I got like excited. Anyway, and I think this is kind of a reset in a sense where, but I don't think they're gonna get their way. I don't think they're going to win, But I think that a lot does need to change. And I think, it's also a great awakening. And even though I know you guys tell me, like, oh, there's not as many people as, there's not, what am I trying to say? You say like, oh, like, I wish that, there were more people around me that had these thoughts and it gets really lonely. And I know you guys, I totally understand. I know. But I can vouch for when I started doing this work, like, there are way more people to talk to. There are way more people that are open to these ideas now than were 10 years ago. Whenever we ever did podcast on vaccines, we'd have to turn off the comments. We get so many death threats and so many horrible things and so many trolls. And even David Icke, I used to watch David Icke back in the day, and his audience have gotten continuously bigger and bigger and bigger. And he even says that, like, he's hopeful, because I've seen footage of David Icke where he used to speak and there were only like 10 people, in the room when he would talk about these things, and now there are like thousands of people that come. Yes, I'm sorry, and Soylent Green. I saw that a few years ago. It was really good. Yes, I think about that. Soylent Green, yeah, man. People! Soylent Green has people! I was looking for this. There's a scene in the movie where the people are like on the what am I trying to say? There's so many people that are homeless that they sleep outside, and the main guy's a cop, and when he goes up to his apartment, they're just people piled up on top of each other, like sleeping on the stairs. It's crazy. It's a really good movie. I wish, out of all the remakes, if they made that one, I just think it could be technically better made. They can make a really good remake of that movie. I've never seen Logan's Run. Yeah, so, it's a really good, movie. And what's really cool about that movie, I think, is the bromance between Charleston Heston and his old friend, because he has a friend, right? They're living in the future, and it's a dystopian future. He's living in the future, and they rarely eat meat. They rarely have like real food. And Soylent Green, everybody goes crazy for this Soylent Green. And I kind of gave it away by like the quotes I was making, but I'm not gonna. You should see it. It's a good movie. But I was gonna say the friendship that he has between his older friend. So this guy is like his friend. He's probably old enough to be his father. So the guy remembers what everything used to be like, and he would tell him these stories, and he was like, really, the sky used to be blue, and really people used to eat meat. Wow, this is interesting. And it's not really, like, usually they're like a love story between a man and a woman, but the love story, the bromance, the friendship that he has with his friend is really sweet. I don't know. I just think that love comes in all forms. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. You can have love with your friends and with dogs and cats, and not sexual or physical, but you have this intimacy between people. And one thing in the health freedom movement that really moves me is the parents that really sacrifice for their children, and how much love these parents have for their children. And this is what these assholes don't understand. They don't understand the power of love, how cheesy that sounds. But yes, it shows we need the elderly for sure, Denise. Yeah, you're right. We need the elderly. This is another thing. I've been thinking, I'll do this in the future, but I've been thinking the whole thing about age and how, it's, TV shows portray old people as stupid, and how we're treating the elderly, how we're vaccinating them, and all the stuff that we're doing to elderly is leading them to having dementia, right? But they carry us, and and the relationships are severed between the elderly and the young, and they can't. I mean, it's totally by design. It's totally by design, right? Because the thing that's frustrating me now too is I see a lot of my friends' children who are teenagers, and they're trying to tell them, what we're talking about now. But their children don't get it, and they don't understand how. You really have to understand corruption. Like, we're older, right? So we understand about 9/11. We understand how the government lies. We understand about power. And these kids, they're living home with their parents who've never been outside, or like had to live in the real world by themselves to support themselves. They haven't experienced any of these things. We have, right? We understand that. So anyway, let me get going with the calls. 512-481-7464. 512-481-74. I'm going to pin it to the top. Smash that like button. Thank you guys. You guys are the best. Smash that like button. Show that you like this. That you like it. You're going to watch this. You're going to like it. Okay. It should be pinned to the top. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Let me open up the Skype. 512-481-7464. Anybody calling? Oh, somebody's calling. I got a caller. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up? Who's this? Jakar. Okay, I thought so. I wasn't sure. How are you? Good morning.
Yeah, good. Good morning. How are you?
Good. How do you celebrate Christmas or any Kwanzaa or Hanukkah or what? Do you celebrate any of that stuff? Do you have a good? What do you celebrate?
Yeah, I celebrate Christmas.
Yeah. Do you have a good Christmas?
Huh?
Do you have a good Christmas?
Yeah, it was. Yes, hung out with my family and stuff. My mom is turning into my grandma more and more by the day. It's so funny.
Your mom is what?
My mom is turning into my grandma. You know how that happens when they get older? It's like, dang, you look just like grandma. You look just alike, right?
So you mean you guys didn't like follow orders and stay isolated for the holidays?
No, we didn't do that, man.
Good for you. That's good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was fun, though.
So what's on your mind? You want to talk about this great reset?
Yeah, talking about all this, it took me back to talking about the Great Depression, what was going on at that time. When you saw, like, the market had crashed in the 20s. Everything was booming in the 20s. It was the roaring 20s and all that, and everything crashed with the market. And you start seeing when the Great Depression came, the crash came was like 5,000 banks shut down and 25% of Americans out of work. It pretty much just brought us full circle again, because America seems like it always goes through this, where you got to have some big conflict where, okay, we got to save everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what happened in the 30s, when Roosevelt came to office, about the New Deal and all that, trying to turn everything around. It's always some way that the government has to be the hero. You know what I mean? It's like they'll mess up everything to come in to be the savior.
Yeah,
it's
called the Hegelian dialectic. Have you know about that, right? The problem, reaction, solution.
Yeah, I know about it.
You create the problem, and then people react, and then you come in as the hero. So it's like the best example that I know there are many examples, but the one that always pops into my head is have you seen Mission Impossible 2? With Tom Cruise?
I have.
The old movie. It's kind of old. Yeah. So basically, I remember the plot, right? So the plot is about this virus. It's always about a virus that has been created, and they want to release it into the public. And then they're going to release it into the public, but then they're going to have the cure. So they're going to make money. The villain's going to make money off of the cure after he kills a bunch of people.
Wow.
But they're going to make money off of the cure. So that's basically, the Hegelian dialectic, right? They're the ones that started it, but then they're going to be like, oh, we're going to have this vaccine. And what's even scarier, what I showed you, was with the vaccine. It's like, well, if people don't want to take it, we're going to make them, you're going to do what we say anyway. If people don't agree with what we're going to do, too bad. We're just going to do what the fuck we want anyway. So, I mean, I don't know. I hope more people wake up. I hope so.
Well, more people are waking up, though. It's they're not. It's good to see that everybody's like, okay, this is nonsense. And I'm starting to see the pushback, like, everywhere. And it's fantastic. I love seeing it.
You're in California, right?
Compared to where we were in March. Everybody's like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? Yeah. But 9 months in, everybody's like, okay, enough's enough. You know what I mean?
Dude, I know. Oh, wait, where are you again? Are you in California?
No, Texas. I'm in Dallas.
Okay. I keep forgetting. I know there's somebody else that
Yeah.
calls. I keep forgetting. Okay. So you're seeing pushback in
Yeah.
Dallas.
You said what?
You're seeing pushback in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I mean, I don't really go out a lot right now. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, but you got your people that's going to be, you know, like, hey, follow rules or whatever, you know, and there's a bunch of nonsense anyway.
You're definitely
but
seeing more
you have
people.
people that's sick of it, you know, it's like, look, enough's enough, you know.
Wow, yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's interesting. Yeah, and I think, you know, because I joke about it a lot, but I think it's because a lot of people, you know, the conditioning, right? They get the compliance too by the conditioning. A lot of people have seen too many zombie movies. You know? So that when they see something like I mentioned Mission Impossible 2 or the multitude of zombie virus movies, Into the World movies that happen, they think that this is a real scenario. So they react. And that's how they get us to quote unquote agree. There are different angles and different methods in which they get us to agree. But I think that's one of the ways that they prime people psychologically on a large scale to get them to believe.
Yeah. It's definitely psychologically, and especially if you watch the news all day, it's grabbing you anyway because that's all you see. And especially in the mainstream media, it keeps throwing that same stuff at you, and that's all they know. You know, just don't have a free mind to think.
Yeah, and
I talk to my uncle a lot, you know, and I would talk to my uncle, and he was a very intelligent guy, man. I'll tell him this stuff over and over. It's like, you still don't get it, man? How many times are we going to sit and talk about this? You know, and it seems like you got sense.
Does he sleep with the TV?
Somewhere in your brain that you're still scared. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Does he sleep with the TV on?
No, I don't. No.
No, does he? Do you know if he does? Your uncle?
He probably does.
I think, you know, like I've said this before, it just drives me crazy my mom does that. Because my mom has common sense, and some of the stuff that she's hearing, and she's yeah, this is stupid. This doesn't make sense. She really doesn't like the mask thing. But I know, like, she sleeps with the TV on, and it's like, even if you know what's going on, subconsciously, you could be, like, programmed via the TV. And this book that I'm reading it at a slow pace because I'm reading, like, 3 books at the same time. I'm reading that. I'm reading Righteous Indignation. I'm reading 1984 in Spanish right now. So I'm reading, like, 3 books, right? But this one book, the television book, the 4 Arguments for the Elimination of Television, he's basically talking about, now I'm on this chapter where they're talking about light sources and light and natural light versus human light, and how artificial light has effect on our senses and on our, our health and our mental capacity. And, sorry, somebody sings my bum's a little bit too loud. Okay, anyway. And basically, he was saying, like, the way the TV is designed, not only does it put you in an alpha state, but it's literally shooting light into you. Like, there's like a little gun, and it, like, the electricity, I guess, pushes forward and shoots forward these rays, and you're watching it, and it's, like, shooting into your body.
Right.
And when I was a kid, dude, I remember my cousin would, like, tease me, because if we were somewhere, like, in our apartment or our house, and we were trying to go to sleep, I can feel the TV. I feel like somebody was pinching me. And I'd just be like, I feel it. Like, I can hear, like, if somebody turned the TV on in her house, I can feel it. I can hear it, and I can feel, even though there was no audio, I just knew, I felt the energy. And she was like, dude, you're crazy, dude. And I couldn't, sleep with the VCR clocks. I have to cover the clocks and stuff. Like, I'd have to put tape over them or put something in front of them or cover them because I couldn't sleep. But now I'm like, hey, this is, I'm not crazy. There's a lot of truth to this. Yeah. But as a kid, you don't know that stuff.
Oh, go ahead.
I said, yeah, you don't know that stuff. Yeah. Yeah,
No, you don't. But, just think of the drunken stupor you feel when you watch TV all day.
Yeah.
You just feel high as crap, man. It's like, dang, did I take some ecstasy or something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know when I get like that, while I'm freaking, my eyes are running in circles, like, you need to get out of this house, man.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like sitting at the house all day anyway. I was like, I got to get up and do something.
Yeah.
Just the fact that, okay, I'm not leaving the house today. I can't stand that. I got to move around.
Yeah.
I'm sitting and watch TV all day. I'm being drunk and stupid, and it's like, I'm not living like that, man.
Yeah,
Once upon a time in life, I did it, but I've gotten older, it's like, no, this is just a waste of time,
Yeah, I mean, I get out and I do jujitsu, but I was just thinking, I've been sitting around a lot. I've been working from home. I've been doing little odd stuff here and there from home. I work on music at home. I do this stuff at home. And I'm just thinking, I really need to get outside in nature more. And I feel like I've been doing that. I went for a walk not too long ago, and I'm like, I feel like my senses are definitely rewired. And I'm just like, you know what?
Yeah.
And this is by design too. Speaking of the Great Reset, they don't want us outside and connected with nature and stuff.
Of course not. Of course not.
You know?
Everybody's mad at each other. You know what I mean? It's like they don't want you to have that human connection. They don't want you to have the nature connection. All that. It's trying to break. It's breaking. It's making so much division. Like I said, you can't just. And you've been in Texas long enough. We're very hospitable here, right?
Yeah.
Right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. People are like scared. They're like, oh. Even my neighbors now look at me funny because I don't wear a mask. But, I mean, nobody in this complex really wears a mask. I've only seen like 2 or 3 people in the whole complex out of hundreds of people that are wearing the mask. And there are a lot of illegal immigrants in this, in my complex and stuff. And they're not buying this bullshit, But,
yeah.
but
like I said, it's been long enough,
Yeah.
Like I said in the beginning of it, we were all like, and I wasn't tripping about it then. I was being cautious. But it's like, there's something funny about this, man.
I wasn't even cautious. I mean, it's just some
like,
bullshit.
come on. Do you remember that one lady? I forget her name, and I'm so mad at myself that I didn't write it down.
I might know.
She said, she had that press conference, and she said that I don't care what people die from, we're going to say they die from COVID. Ever since then, I was done with it. Like, I'm done.
What was, it wasn't Deborah Burks, but I know I don't know her name, but I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was done with it after that. I was like, I'm not fooling with this anymore. I'm finished,
Yeah, I mean, it's it's weird.
Like, I can't do it anymore.
It's weird, people, they give themselves away, whether it's through hubris or whether it's they're just too stupid or whether, they're of the ilk that believes that they have to tell us in some way, and if we still go for it, we're stupid. Whatever you want to believe, But it's like, it just goes over people's heads because they're in a drunken stupor from the TV. Now, of course, the technology, and this book was done, the book I'm reading was written in the late 70s, but it's gotten more advanced now. And not only that, you think of the video games and the computers and stuff, and you know what, I honestly,
Exactly.
And I'm going to start doing this too, even if I'm working at my computer, I really have a hard time breaking away. And it's been embarrassing for me to admit because I know this stuff, and it's still hard for me to do it. What I went to Tuesday morning, this is like $12, $14, something like that. I got a salt lamp.
Yeah.
And I put it next to my computer, and I swear to God, it really helps me to to have my other foot connected in the world. I'm not like, nobody's paid me to promote a salt lamp.
Yeah.
But having a candle or a salt lamp, I swear, like more natural, like tangible source. I mean, it's a lamp, but the salt makes it more natural. And I think I've heard it helps with the negative ions or something. I don't know. But I don't know if somebody in the chat can help me out and they know why the salt lamp, there's the scientific explanation as to why the salt lamp helps you be able to disconnect better. Please let me know. But it does. It does. So I don't know. That's just some food for thought. But
also, man, we got to take a break from being on freaking YouTube all day. I mean, that can be just as addictive as watching regular TV.
I know. No, it's the same thing. Yeah, and I do watch a lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch some more. I'm gonna watch some more.
YouTube can be informative. You know what I mean? But
well,
go ahead and get the information out of a book. You know what I mean? That's better for you.
Yeah. Well, I'm working on a mini movie right now, so I have to do a lot of research. So I'm watching a lot of clips and stuff. So. But it could be very addictive. Yeah, because I learned stuff. I learned songs. I learned how to do stuff. I learned how to cook. I learned hair growth secrets. There's all this stuff to learn. It could be useful too. But yeah, I'm also just trying to get back in the habit of reading again because there's even more information that's in a book that's not, because now what they're doing, they're playing the Library of Alexandria 2.0 right now, where they're just erasing stuff off of YouTube, informative stuff. And if I see something that I think is really informative, I now, I got a couple of external hard drives, and I've been trying to copy stuff down, or not copy stuff down, make copies of things so, it's not lost. But You know,
Yeah.
I have a friend that's homeschooling her son, and we were just talking about, you know, kind of what's going on. And she was like, you know, it's really interesting. We're reading a lot about, like, I should do a series on this, the original truthers like Mark Twain and some of the transcendentalists and stuff. And they were also kind of like the outcasts, and they were, you know, it's kind of like the history repeats itself. You know,
It
and
really does. It really does.
especially if we don't know, right? And this is the thing about resetting, right? Like they had all of these, you know, like how they're taking down all the statues and stuff. It's not just about, oh, Black Lives Matter and stuff. They're programming these people. So they're using them as their soldiers. They're programming these people so they can help them with the reset. They're, you know, they're erasing the names of statues and plaques and history, and, you know, even. My friend found this article talking about how all of these perfectly good books were thrown away. You can go to, like, you know, Walmart, but you can't go to the library, right? And now they're just throwing away. Yeah, they're throwing away books and stuff that are in good condition. Yep. You know, like nothing's wrong with them and nothing. You know, all these books are just thrown away. Oh, they're just trying to erase history. That's what they're doing.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
So
they would rather you not read it. And as a matter of fact, if they did though, they would write a book. But they know people too ignorant to even go look and read it anyway.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like, you know, you read David Rockefeller's book, Memoirs. I had that book. That book's like 400-something darn pages. The average person is not going to sit and read that book. You know what I mean? But he'll sit and tell you everything that they're going to do to set up the book.
Really?
It's
I've
all
never
right
read
there
that.
and written. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the average person, their attention span is not long enough to read that. So he knows that, hey, I can put this in a book. Anybody's going to read that but my good friend. It'll be a bestseller because they know what's up.
Yeah.
The guy's not going to read this, and he knows it. They know that. You know?
Yeah, no, it's funny because, and especially in Black communities, or I should say inner city communities, the literacy rates are super low. And another reason I'm trying to get back into reading it, because I'm noticing how watching a lot of this YouTube has affected my attention span, and it's kind of embarrassing. You know, I can read, though, I can read more, like, because I'm into the medical and I can read those books really fast, and I can just go through those. But it's really hard for me to read fiction, where I have to think about the characters and stuff. It takes me a long time. You have to read it. I can read it, but I'm just like, oh, I feel like my brain works slower. It's getting better as I'm doing it more, but I haven't done it in such a long time, and I've been relying on, you know, TV for my narratives and or YouTube or whatever, that it's kind of like that part of my muscle has gotten weak. You're like, muscle in my brain's gotten weak.
Right.
So,
you definitely have to train it. You know, you have to train your muscle, or your brain is a muscle. You know, I think it's
not literally a muscle, but it's similar to a muscle, right? It's plastic. It's plastic, right? Plasticity. It's but it's malleable. You know, it's malleable, just like muscles are. Basically, that's what you're saying. You have to work it. Yeah, you have to work your neurons, your neural pathways, right? So they can be rewired, and they can. But you can learn anything. I don't believe that whole BS about you being too, you know, about you being too old to learn something, because that's another thing. You know, speaking of that, the whole, I think there's an ageism agenda. Like, I've really been thinking about that, and I want to write more on that or talk more about that. But the ageism agenda is like, you know, one of the things, they're like, oh, well, once you can't learn a language past a certain point. You can't learn dance. You can't learn this. You can't learn that. You're too old. You're too old for this. You're too old for that. You know? And then,
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, like, but you know, that's how society is, and not only that, they, you know, we make youth so powerful, and I feel like as I've gotten older, I've been more happier and more, you know, I have more confidence in myself. I have more experience. I have more wisdom. Shit, my 20s, fuck.
Yeah, you know, like,
it was a hot mess.
I'm 43 now, and life is so much slower. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see it like compared to what I was when I was 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, life is just slowed down. You get it so much more. You know what I mean? Your vocabulary should grow. You should be wiser. All that stuff should be happening in your life, and it just life slows down, and you see stuff at such a clear level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think you know, as long as you're always open and always learning, that's good too. But you know, the whole ageism agenda thing is that people have been programmed to be like, oh, I'm too old. Oh, I'm too. You know what I mean? I'm too old to do this. So even if you're like in your 20s, right, and you believe that you can't learn, you can't do something because you didn't start when you were like 5, then your brain's going to slow down. You're not going to want to, you know, you're going to kind of stay stuck there. You know, I know a lot of old people that are in their 60s that still act like they're in high school. You know, they're still very immature. It shouldn't be that way. It should be. You should be more
No, it shouldn't be that
mature.
way at all.
You know, you should
Nope.
you should learn from your mistakes and have wisdom by a certain age. But
Yeah.
you know, there are people that they get kind of stuck, and I think that there's a design to that as well, and that has a huge impact on society. And then, you know, even though people are older, you can't really look to the elderly if they're, you know, stuck in a state of arrested development, or if they're physically decrepit because they don't believe they can heal their bodies. They don't believe. I know, you know, somebody in jiu-jitsu, and they're a good person, but they're always talking about how old they are. I'm just thinking, like, well, they're going to be old and they're going to be breakdown because they're putting that out there, you know?
Right. You mentally thinking that way, you know?
Yeah, but then you see all these people,
You know,
like crazy stuff. They're like in their
Go ahead.
70s and they're like surfing and still doing gymnastics and stuff.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
Right. You know?
you know, like there was this. I don't know if you ever saw this video or this story where there was this lady in her 70s. She was a bodybuilder, and this dude tried to break.
Lady,
You saw this dude tried to break into her house, and she beat him up with the table. And they called the cops, and the cops had to end up calling an ambulance because she beat the shit out of him. And she was in her 70s.
Yeah.
She was like, I got muscles. I was like, that was the best shit ever. I was just like, that was amazing. That was amazing, you know? Yeah.
I mean, it can be done, you know. But like I said, if you listen to people and they tell you, hey, you're too old for that, and, you know, because think if you keep hearing that over and over, it's like, yeah, I'm too old to be doing this. You know,
yeah, you can't listen. But we're programmed. And look at Hollywood. They worship youth. And to me,
they do, yeah.
Like I'm a singer-songwriter, but to me, even when I'm looking back, even as a kid, I always thought the best music were people like that were 30s and 40s or older, you know? Like I never was into like New Kids on the Block. New Edition was okay, but I still wasn't like you know what I mean? Like I wasn't like, I'm just trying to think of the kid bands that were around that, you know, the kid singers or child singers. Like Tiffany,
Well,
like I wasn't into.
They're gonna say you're not black if you don't like New Edition.
I did like New Edition though. I did, but I wasn't like.
I'm just playing around. I'm just joking around.
If it isn't love, why do I feel this way? No, and Johnny Gill. I mean, but they weren't like the people that I really liked and the music I really liked were always like. I mean, if I was 10, I was probably listening to 30, 40-year-olds music. Like all the older stuff, the Motown stuff, the Beatles, the 70s, you know, like all that stuff, classical music. Like I was just a weirdo like that. But the point I'm getting at, I don't think you can really create good art or create something as profound until you have life experiences, until you're older. Whereas these young stars that are these starlets, these it people and stuff, they are at a certain, you know, it's basically about like sex and I'm not like sex is great. Like I'm not downing sex. I'm not downing drugs, but it's about drugs, killing, sex, materialism. And I went to.
But it's reckless sex. That's what gets everybody. Everybody's having reckless sex, man.
Yeah, and that's a huge
And you're starting to see that people can't connect anymore.
Yeah.
Because, you know, this woman is having sex with all these different dudes, and she can't connect with her husband because she had all these different dudes with her. Like, how do you expect to connect with somebody?
Yeah.
And that's the same thing for the same guy. You can't be that reckless, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. And it's like, I mean, I don't know, what do you think as a dude? I think, I'm trying to, you guys, hold on one second. I'm trying to release the comments in the chat because you know how YouTube is like, oh, we're going to hold your comment. Yeah, I'm trying to multitask. But, oh, shit. I'm trying to do two things. We were talking about, recklessness. Yeah, as a dude, I think that men are wired differently, though. But I also think that they're...
Not by much.
I'm starting to think that they're affected. Yeah, but men can have sex with different women and... Like,
we can, but it's going to catch up eventually. I know guys like, oh, you can't grab one. Like, look, you can't either, man. It's going to get you eventually. I know you can be freely and you can have sex with different women, but it's going to catch up with you eventually. You know, because I've been there. You know, I went through that. It's like, it got with me eventually. You know what I mean?
Emotionally?
Huh?
Emotionally?
Yeah, emotionally, yeah, it did.
I think it's, I think when you have sex with people, you pick up their energies.
You do take on energy, yeah.
Like, that's like how I kind of describe it. So you gotta be careful, like, who you have sex with. And then you're
You definitely do.
and if people are broke and they have a deal with it, you're picking that stuff up whether you like it or not. That's just kind of like how I see it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting though, right? Like, I think that, you know, and especially since you know, the breaking up of the family and the abortions and stuff, I'm really starting to think about the impact that it's having on society as a whole. Because since the 70s, now we're seeing the impacts of how all of this is stuff, these broken families, you know, divorces and you know, divorce isn't bad. I'm just saying, like, you know, because a lot of people get married to fucked up people and they need to get away from them, or they just don't match. But I understand that. But you have also this generation of parents using their children to get back at the other person. It's just like, why are you trying to do that? If you don't like the person, then, you know, when you have a child with somebody and you're bonded to them, it sucks because you love your child. Most people I know that have been in that situation, they love their children, but then I'm like, great, but their ex, whether it be men or women, because I know horror stories. I have horror stories from friends that have married horrible women and friends that have married men that are horrible men. And they'll use their children to get back at them, you know?
Yeah.
And the family courts, suburban homestead outfitters, family courts are real, and it sucks, and it really leans toward, you know, women, and women know this, and they use that, you know. It sucks because, you know, I have my cousins going through that right now. Like, one of my cousins, his ex, he has a son with her, but he's not interested in her, but she's mad, and she doesn't, you know, trying to not keep his son away from him. And he's a good guy, you know, but it's like, only way I would do that is if I felt my kid was in physical danger. And I actually have a friend that has that situation where you know, his baby's mom is very physically violent and probably, you know, try to hurt herself and the baby. And, you know, so that's the case where I understand that until she can get better. You know, he's just like, no, my baby can't be with you, around you. You're going to, you know what I mean? Like, she'll, you know, like, but my cousin, he's a good guy. She's just mad because he's not interested in her. And she gets mad that the son talks to him more than she talks to her, or he talks to her.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm just like, why are you wasting your time? Why are you wasting, you know, why do you want to be with somebody that doesn't want to be with you? What's the fuck?
Yeah.
Find somebody else. Then, you know, like.
It's crazy. It's so weird.
Yeah. Anyway, let me take some more.
It's so funny, me.
No. Go on, and then go on. Sorry.
Okay. No, I was just saying, like, because I totally believe, like, because human beings, it's like men and women, they've been at war with each other for the longest, you know? You don't realize we supposed to work as a team, even if you're not in a relationship with them, far as, like, you my boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, whatever. You still run the cultural mandate. Men and women are supposed to work as a team. But you start to see that division now, right? You know, you're taking dad out of the house, you're taking mom to be by herself. We don't work as a team anymore. You do have it, but the majority of it is starting to break away more and more by the day. And it's just out of line, that's out of order. And I think that's by design. It's totally by design. I can't say I think.
Oh, yeah, well, it's the same. It's basically
you wouldn't have things like abortion clinic, and you wouldn't even have things like condoms, to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? Everything is blocking so you won't build a family and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there are ways to get around that too. You can do like the rhythm method, and you can do the Billings method. Those are, if you're a regular, and that's a whole nother conversation about why women are irregular because of the chemicals and all that stuff in the food. But if you're regular, you know how to get, there are ways to get pregnant and not get pregnant naturally, even without condoms. So, but yeah, it's like, it's the same thing that they do with race.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing. Yeah. They don't want us. They don't want human beings connecting. So any way that they can find to divide us, whether it's through race, whether it's through age, whether it's through sex, whether it's through nationalities, whether any little sliver, any chasm they can find to create between us, they're going to do it to keep us at war with each other. Because we are very powerful. I believe that. I truly believe that with all my heart, that human beings are very, very powerful.
Yeah. Yep.
You know? So, all right, dude, I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna take a few more calls.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks for calling. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
All right, 512-481-7464. Read some of the comments. I found a good woman when I realized, Suburban Homestead Outfitters. I found a good woman when I realized I need to be a better man. I stopped blaming the old exes and worried about what I could change about me to be better. Yes, it's true. It's true. Once I did, things leveled up. For sure. For sure. All right. Hello?
What's up, V?
Hey, what's up? How are you, Cerebral? What's going on?
It's been a kind of a long little bit of a week, but it's getting better. So,
Really? What's going
how are
on?
you?
Good, good. Did you have a good holiday?
I had a wonderful holiday, with my family. We broke the rules. My
Yeah, that's what I'm
siblings
talking about.
came from other states, and I told somebody that worked at the pathology lab, that my sibling came out maskless and just let them sit there, just staring at me shocked for a little bit. And I was like, I know, but don't worry, we did the proper precautions.
Yeah. So you're right. Your cousin, you said, works at a pathology lab. I missed something.
No, my neighbors.
Oh God.
So I hear all the time, the whole fear campaign, and I'm like, how have you not figured out?
I'm like,
a pathology lab.
Yeah. Do they do any of the tests? Do they know how the tests work? Like, how are they? Like,
So
how
I
are
don't
they
think
following?
this person's a pathologist, because the way they described everything to me is kind of like they're just overseeing in the lab, and I'm like, what exactly do you do? Because my mother actually was a pathologist, and she could take apart the machine, she'd do all the testing, she'd put the machines back together, and repair them.
Wow.
So I don't know I don't know what this woman exactly does, but she was one of the first people up in my cul-de-sac, because I've been keeping our neighborhood together. I've been throwing little concerts and stuff to keep the community. And she came over to thank me one day and then started talking about how this is back after a little bit after 4th of July, and she was like, "Are you going to get the railroad jab?" And I was just looking at her. I'm like, "What are you talking about? Why would I?" No, there's no reason. I'm going to live through this.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how they're trying to make us take something that we don't want to take? If it was so scary and so much of a threat, why are they trying to force it on us? And it's a 99% survivor rate. It's so like that. If that doesn't wake people up, I don't know what will.
Well, did you see in Spain what they're doing?
No.
So they're pulling out. They're not going to force you, quote unquote, to get it yet, right? But they're already creating a registry of everyone that refuses to get it.
Oh, fuck that.
And they're already talking about how that registry will, well, you can't stay at this hotel. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't get on this airplane. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't come for this service to buy food.
Oh, my yellow star.
Thing, it's just makes you think of Germany 2.0, basically.
Yeah, it's.
There was another thing I wanted to quickly bring up to you, and I'm going to send it to you. We found the SPARS pandemic that they're going to be doing, that they're calling the big one for 2025 to 2028. And they have in this document, it's from John Hopkins, university, or John Hopkins, sorry, not university, John Hopkins went through. I was looking at all the doctors. They're all legit people. They all have their own Twitter accounts. Well, they just pulled it off John Hopkins' website, but I downloaded the PDF because I'm not stupid, because I know how they work.
Yeah, they'll change it or they'll erase it.
Viral.
Could you send it to me?
So
Info at TrutherTalk.com. Could you put it in the? Could you put what you're sending me in large caps in the subject line?
I will. You're gonna enjoy reading this. I mean, not really enjoy it, but you'll be happy that I got it to you. So.
Oh, I appreciate it. So you're saying they're planning another one, basically?
Yeah, and the WHO just came out and said they're not. This isn't the big one, because yesterday, Governor Polis in Colorado announced that the variant B117 has been discovered in Colorado in a male in his 20s or something like that. They're like, we're isolating him in this county. Don't worry, our scientists are doing everything to make sure that you will all be safe. We're checking all the contact tracers.
Oh my god, man, this is such a fucking science fiction movie. Can we just get over it?
Right?
You know, like, God.
Well,
Wow.
10 to 15% of Coloradoans have downloaded that app. So when I saw that, I was like, so who are you talking to? How would you guys even, if no one's downloaded a contact tracing app, and very few of us have actually been going and getting testing, which is why your numbers are dropping all of a sudden, that would mean that you guys really couldn't have possibly found this, like, data, especially if you haven't isolated the first one, but then you've isolated the second one somehow.
Yeah. No, but they don't have to say, like, people don't know. Like, this is how brainwashed people are. The World Health Organization comes out, you know, and I'm using them as an example because they're the gods, right, that people pray to tell them what to think, right, about this situation. So the World Health Organization comes out and says first of all, they didn't have any evidence of asymptomatic people, which are healthy people, spreading it. Now they come out a few months ago and say, oh, well, it's very rare. But in light of that, they're still, you know, they're still having commercials saying, oh, if you get COVID, you can give it to your loved one. But I'm like, but the World Health Organization just said that you can't transmit it, but you're still running commercials saying that you can. People listen to the commercials. Propaganda and narrative is so powerful, you know?
Well, it's like you were saying with the 4 arguments of elimination of TV. I believe it was a German scientist from Project Paperclip, actually, if I recall correctly, was one of the inventors that worked on the television, actually. And, like, really, like, brought it up, like, even further than what it was. And like you were saying about the light gun in there, you know, and it's a television. It's going to fire the vision into your brain, you're saying. You know, and that was old technology. Now we're using these plasma screens, right, LEDs and all these things, and they're running at from, you know, 60 frames per second. You know, Wonder Woman just came out in 1984. I hate that they chose that year. You know, it's obvious what their programming is.
Wait, what came out? Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman 1984. They released it on HBO Max, and they were bragging about how, like, this is going to be the beginning of the end of movie theaters. We're just going to get you to all hang out inside your houses, because we'll just do what Disney's doing and release everything for free for like $7 a month, you know, on our streaming service at 4K, 60 frames per second. You know, it's doing things that the projectors in the movie theaters can't really do, and that's they buy like the most, you know, top line stuff. So you can now in your house, if you got a 4K TV, you'll have a better quality of this, you know, picture and everything, but it's moving at a faster rate than what the projectors were projecting.
So it's basically,
you can hide even more.
You can brainwash people even on a deeper level, basically.
Yeah, and like you can see what they're going with the movies. You know, kind of the direction it's going. Like you've been kind of bringing it up. It's like in the past, you look at this stuff. You know, I mean, TV was way like it's always been programmed, but it was way more wholesome. Like in the 90s, 80s, 70s, and prior. And it's not like, you know, we look today. It's like everything is so much gore and violence. It's like one other truther I brought up. He's like, I really enjoy what's that one? Westworld. He used to really enjoy Westworld. And he's like, you look at the version that they created now on HBO and how like satanic it is, and how all there's just
it's blood, man. It's just blood, and I mean that's a superb show. I mean, I think it's, you know, it's superb, like on every way. The writing, the special effects, the acting, the music, it's superb. But
oh yeah, absolutely.
But you know, the thing that's so weird that I couldn't really connect with it as much is that all the robots kept dying. Because I knew if they shot somebody, they're gonna come back. So I wasn't you know, connected with them. I was like, oh, you know what I mean? I didn't really miss them if they died. Oh, they're just going to come back. Even if they're playing a different character. I was just like... Right. And then when spoiler alert, when Charlotte Hill died, I'm like, they're just going to bring her back. And I was just... But then she's like the good person. But that was annoying because I wanted her to be dead because I couldn't stand her. I thought she was fucking evil. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to like see her face, even as a good person. Even as Dolores, it was just like, I don't know, that it reminded me of like those old bad soap operas where like, you know, somebody died but then they came back and they had like a twin, or you know what I mean? It just kind of like the plot and I don't know, that kind of
It's a mock. That's a mock of you know, when someone dies and resurrected. What does that remind you of?
Jesus?
What are they? Yeah. So what are they like trampling all over basically?
Oh,
Like,
you're so smart, guy.
like,
I never even thought about it like that. I just, yeah, you're right. But I mean, at the same time, too, I'm just saying, as a character, you can't like, as a you know, as a watcher, right? Yeah, because I don't know, I like getting emotionally connected to the characters that I watch. So if I can't emotionally connect to something, as a I was a trained actor and stuff, so I really love the connection that I would get with the actors and stuff when I watch stuff. And if I can't get that, no matter how good the show is, I really don't have any love for it. It's just like,
right.
it's like, all right. To me, that's what narrative is about. It's emotionally connecting to people. So
I think I had more of, at least in that show, I was more connected to like the way they composed the backgrounds together, and they were like taking backplates from like Utah and California and combining them to create a whole new kind of like environment. And I'm always amazed when they do kind of crazy stuff like that. They're just what's that called? I'm a little tired.
Scene scouting, or not scene scouting, scenery. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's just whenever they combine all these different, compositing. When they composite different like forms of footage, it's like you'll see, when people look at movies like The Avengers, and it's like, man, that's like 20 green screens all like being piled on top of each other to make this one image, and that's why the camera sometimes will move away because like that footage ended, so you don't want the camera still panning, looking at that one area where the footage just stopped. So it's crazy, when you see the amount of work.
Totally. I have so much respect for filmmaking, though, and I'm not like dogging that. Like I was saying, it's a superb show. Like I was watching, I was watching the making of it too, and just like how they have like, different, I mean, the what do you call it? Like the artwork and the set design and, and the music. I mean, just every little element. There's so much put into this to making it. I love movies, and I always will love movies, but just now they've been hijacked, just like all the art forms have, right? To bring up, it can be used for good and empowerment, but anyway, you know what? Let me try and get this other person, Cerebral. Can I talk to you later? All right, thanks for calling.
Yep, talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye. Oh, no! All right, call back. Whoever was calling, call back. Sorry, I don't know. I tried to get you before you called. I can't call you back. You have to call me. Whoever was calling, call back. 512-481-7464. I gotta go in 30 minutes, so I'll try and go through these calls faster. 512-481-7464. 512-481-7464. All right, well, I guess. Hello!
Hey, let me come down. Oh, wow, I can't believe that. Okay, this is Denise. How are you?
Hey, Denise, how are you?
Denise.
Good, I'm well. Do you have a good holiday?
Sorry. I brought up Logan's Run because at 21 you had a jewel. When you were born, you had a jewel put in your hand, and at 21 it started blinking, and then you had to report. Okay, and then I won't go into there, but let me tell you what, you didn't live much longer after that. But, so you had a time limit as soon as you were born of 21. That's Logan's Run. 2 people get out, escape, and they find out, oh, wow, there are real trees. We're living underground in a dome. What is this? Nonetheless, real creepy. All right, then you go back to Soylent Green and what they did with those bodies. Gee, I'm hungry. Not anymore. Don't eat green crackers. Nonetheless, you look at Hollywood and Walt Disney, and his vision was he had a responsibility to train the minds of the youth. Okay? So Hollywood, all of this long, has been telling us one way or another, whether it's laser beams and shooting down airplanes or, whatever. They've been telling us what has been going on because it's hard for them to keep secret. Beauty and the Beast, all of it shows how really sick they are. And I've been watching these older programs and how they were even using those programs back in the day. Even Leave It to Beaver. Beaver, Mom, when did a baby become a human? I guess when it's born. Wow. I'm like, they were training us way back then.
Yeah.
You know, and if people put on their socialism glasses and they watch that stuff, they'll pick it up. They'll see all along that's all this stuff is.
Yeah.
And how they're programming us to get ready for this. George Orwell, 1984, they warned us. We've been warned. And we've got the armor of God, which we need to start picking up now, okay, and really realizing that this is a spiritual battle, okay, and if we approach it from that perspective, then I think we will really see the seriousness of our responsibilities as believers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's deep, man. It goes back a long time, right?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting to see if I can find that episode. I wonder if I can find that. Let me write that down.
Oh, the one Obsolete and Twilight Zone. Didn't it just come up the other day? The librarian. Oh, no, we need books. No, books are obsolete. What do you mean books are obsolete? Look how we don't need books. How many books come on the little tablets now? When our video goes down and our internet, like in Texas, I believe Texas was a test 1, 2, 3, but I don't want to talk about, not Texas, Tennessee. Okay? There's so much about Tennessee that as a veteran and military, it's just, damn, okay, we got it. All right, I know, test. How much communication can we block out? How much everything can we block out at one time? And look at what they did. And the fires in Georgia near the computers. I mean, let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, all of this is just coming on. It's just unfolding before our eyes. And if we don't really start standing up now and not letting them get away with this, they're just going to keep taking more and more and more.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's really kind of intriguing how much thought that they put into this and how long that they've been committed to this. It's like,
yes.
It's almost that they're evil. It's almost their malevolence is very like admirable in a sense. Not that like I like it or agree with it, but it's just that if people were to do that with benevolence, how powerful would this world be? The commitment, and the meticulous.
Yeah, I thought you were saying malevolence, but you're saying be.
I'm saying the malevolence, right? So just take that and turn it around. How powerful would this be? But I'm just saying they've come far with their plan. I don't think it's going to work, but just the time and energy and detail that they put into this and the patience that they have. If we were to turn around
and brainwashing and the studying of how to brainwash and what will work and what won't work. And yes, there was someone talking about my thoughts unorganized, but I've been watching this and listening to this and holding all of these thoughts in, and it's like it comes out fast. I've scored in the top 10%, and I can have 3 computers going on at once and understand everything going on.
Yeah, but it's just like the milligram experiment. You know about that one, right? The milligram experiment. All these. It's funny. All these experiments that have made national news is or not national news, but have made that have become in popular culture, right? That have made it so popular culture. People look at it. They're like, oh, that's really interesting. It's science, but they're really just trying to figure out how to fuck us over and they're really trying to figure out how to what's a better word than fuck us over? Just basically, they're trying to figure out how to manipulate us.
Manipulate us into a place of compliance.
Exactly, in compliance. Exactly. So, but we look at it like, oh, that's cool. That's interesting. That's interesting that people will keep pressing the button until somebody tells them not to, because, or they'll keep pressing it because somebody else is taking responsibility and they don't have to do it. But now look at what's going on with the corona thing, right? Like, you know, people are willing to put people on ventilators and, you know,
That's
and
the scary part,
you
which
know,
is bacterial pneumonia, because that stuff breeds bacterial pneumonia. People are dying. I'm the one that a while ago, my friend's grandma died at the age of 94, had cancer for 8 years, died, succumbed to the cancer. In the beginning of all of this mess back in February, her mother had to fight the court systems to get it labeled cancer, so the insurances would work together, because corona at the time was a federal money and cancer was not. You know what I'm saying? So it was all messed up and everything, and yet 600,000 of us veterans got told that we had corona, yet we were never tested, okay? And then you get Elon Musk sends out 4 tests, 2 positive, 2 negative. Then you got the guy in Africa who gets all these fruits and vegetables tested in a goat, and they all come back positive. Yeah, right, But yet, the only thing they're going to show, they even had a new video saying what's going on in France and Europe, but yet it was a video from Maine. Something about climate change. This video was about climate change in Europe and France, and oh look, and all the foam coming up on the shorelines and all the waters, and I'm like, that's in Maine, USA. We have that all the time.
yeah. It's
lying.
fascinating. I know. But hey, Denise, let me get to another. I'm gonna try and take a couple more calls. All right, girl. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, Queen Bee. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can get. Hey, Johnny, what's going on?
Yeah, I just listened in. We had a double call going. So
Yeah, I don't know.
Quiet.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I had you the last time, I thought, and then the other call picked up. I don't know, but anyway, thanks for calling. What's going on? Do you have a nice holiday?
No. You're my dog. Gotta let them out again. They don't like you for some reason. Come on. All right. She's out protection in there. So how's the Queen Bee and the V team going today, girl?
Oh, it's good.
Hey man, you got a good show rolling today.
Yeah, I feel it.
Everything. Talking about the reset, talking about sex, talking about drugs, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, you don't even know what you're gonna get, right? It kind of morphs a little bit, but it's cool. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, you know, I'm kind of laughing at everything. You know, our government's arguing about a couple $1,000s for us, and God bless them, you know, I mean, but you look at the big picture, and it's like our dollar is crashing, and I think part of our government, you know, some of our senators know this, and if they keep rolling out all this extra money, and my God, you know, Trump come up and he said, hey, you know, get rid of some of the pork. Well, they didn't do none of that, and they forced him into signing this bill because, you know, he's helping some people, but it's like our government is in our face corrupt with just, you know, what are you little peasants or people going to do about it? Because we're going to give all this money away to foreign entities and everything else, which they've been doing forever.
Yeah.
It's like they're just in our face corrupt with it.
Now they just got caught.
It's like until people can really come together, and God bless us if we can, and just drag these people out on the street and do something with them that will never let them happen to have that chance to do it again. You know, I don't want to say too much because you'll get in trouble with YouTube.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, and it's funny, my mom, you know, I wouldn't say she's a leftist, but she voted for Biden, really doesn't, but she doesn't care my political leaning. She's not too far over, but she even found out about that you know, situation about them giving foreign money away.
Well, right.
She was mad. She was like, "What?" You
know, in our face told us, it's like, you know, we got this stupid stuff going for gender studies in Pakistan. It's like, what are we doing with our money? It's not their money.
Yeah,
our money.
it
And
should-
unfortunately, I know you don't have kids, but it's probably your grandkids' debt that they're running up. Our dollar
Yeah,
is crashing.
I
It's
know.
just amazing.
I
I don't know
know.
if you know it, but they printed more than 35% of all currency out there is printed in the last 10 months. That's a lot of money they've been printing, and they want to print some more.
Yeah, I know.
That's scary. I mean, when they crash the dollar, this is what's going to do the reset. And if Biden gets in, they're really going to crash the dollar, and then they're really going to reset. That's why I say we're going to be anybody that don't get the COVID and go into these smart cities to be regulated and tracked. We're going to have to live like Native Americans again.
I don't care. I'd rather do that than live in a smart city.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
and me, I'm kind of looking at it like they're kind of saying, well, you can't enter a federal facility without a vaccination, and it's like, well, I work for the federal facility, so I'm gonna have to do something different, man. This is getting crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're gonna have to start trying to see. I mean, I got out of teaching because I know that they were gonna come for the teachers, years ago.
Well, right,
Like,
and you saw how they're indoctrinating all these kids into being programmed into being a sheeple, And it's like, well, you just couldn't put up with that.
Yeah, and I don't know what it was about me that made me want to get out, because there are teachers that were going along with it, and I don't know, like I'm constantly trying to put my finger on what is that thing that makes people not comply or see through it. I think it's a special thing, because you can say, oh, I have good parents, but I know people where that wasn't even though they had good parents that taught them right, that wasn't a factor. Or they'll say, oh, I had good friends, or oh, I had good teachers, or I'm like, none of that really matters. It's something else that clicks in someone that makes them, I don't know. It's a spirit inside. It's something. I don't know that makes you say that.
Being a private teacher for some very well-off people?
Nope.
I'm sure they're looking for people like that.
Nope. I've thought about it. I've done that. I tutored a guy in Taiwan, and then they found I was an anti-vaxxer. I think, I can't prove it, but I think that was part of the reason I just mysteriously wasn't needed anymore.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
people are so brainwashed in the whole world. It's
well,
like,
the thing,
oh my God.
and it wasn't even like I don't think they found out about my podcast, because I started it around that time. But I think what happened was I slipped and cracked my head open, and they had to take me to the hospital, and I didn't want to take a tetanus shot. And at the time I took it because I didn't know as much as I know now, but they bullied me into taking a tetanus shot, and I put up such a and then they're like, oh, why don't you want to take the shot? I was like, because do you not like the vaccines? And the dude was hella cool. Anyway, sorry, I went on a tangent, but you asked me, no, I want to do, either I'm going to do the course, I'm going to teach that way. I'm still the teacher, but, I'm focusing, I really like what's going on with the channel. This is the first time I'm having a bigger connection with the people. Like, when we did the podcast long ago, we didn't have callers, and I like having callers and talking to people and having that connection and being able, I'm learning how to edit and make movies, and then I'm also doing music. So that's what I want to do. I'm focusing my goals on that. I might get some health coaching certification so I can work more with people and helping them with giving them and coaching advice on autoimmune issues, because I've gone through that. So I'm looking into doing that. But other than that, I'm not interested in teaching. I was a teacher for, I'm not going to say how old I am, but I was a teacher for like I was a teacher for 13 years. I feel like I paid my dues. I was a teacher for a long time in the States.
Well, and that was how many years ago? So
yeah,
you're actually pretty damn old. But you know what? You're younger than me, so that's a blessing.
Yeah, but you know what though? Yeah, but I mean, like I feel like I paid my dues with teaching. I've done private tutoring. I've taught online. I've taught outside the country. I've taught inside the country. I've taught at public schools. I've taught at private schools. I'm just kind of like, I've done all kinds of teaching, and I feel like I'm never really going to be satisfied unless I can control what system I'm teaching in. And even with private people, I would still have to deal with their stuff. you know, so I'm just like, I'm just going to do, you know, to me, this is a form of teaching.
You know, if you
I'll always be a
can
teacher.
make the money to pay your bills, that's what counts. You know what I mean? But if you're starving and you can't pay your bills and you're looking at being homeless, that's another story. So God bless you and everybody out there. Hey, the B team, send her a few bucks or get on her Patreon. I always use snail mail. I don't use no digital, so it's like send her some money.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna be homeless, but I have stuff in the works. I'm not worried, but I'm also at a point where I'm tired of working for other people. I'm trying to work for myself, and especially now, I'm gonna have to be like that with this COVID thing because I'm not gonna go to a job where I'm gonna have to wear a mask. You know, because even if I did private tutoring, like who's to say I'm not gonna have to work at a home where the people are believing this COVID bullshit, and I have to wear a mask. You know?
Yeah, and it looks like it's never ending, so it's like, yeah, you got to figure something out. I mean, amen. No matter what, like I said, we have to eat, you know, we have to stay warm, we have to have a roof over our head, we have to make it happen somehow, you know, and I always live by just do what comes next, and if you're walking with the Lord, you know, you're not going to be let down. It's all going to come together, you know, so.
Yeah. All right, Johnny.
Do what you got to do. Amen. God bless you. Good talking to you.
Okay, you too. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Take one more caller. Who's the person that was calling? Were they calling from a different country? It's an unknown person. Oh, call back. Call back. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, what's going on? Who's this?
Hi, my name is Brando.
Brando?
Yeah, like as Marlon Brando.
Okay, I was going to ask Marlon. Hey, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm watching your show on YouTube right now, and you know, I appreciate, you know, another person like you on YouTube trying to get the, you know, truth out there and everything.
Thank you. Sorry, you're a little bit delayed, so that's why I'm just like waiting. No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support too. That means a lot to me as well.
Oh, no problem. I discovered you through Barricade Garage, whatever his YouTube name is. He's another good, you know, YouTuber who, you know, tries to get the, you know, truth out there as well and everything. Because as your last caller said, they're trying to teach the kids, you know, train them to be, you know, sheeple and everything. And that goes for adults too. And I can only say, thanks to my Uncle Mike, I've been, at least for the most part, awake this year because my Uncle Mike, I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He got me into a man by the name of Bill Cooper. He was a you know, radio talk show host, and you know, long story short about him, he on his radio show called The Hour of Time, 2 months before 9/11, he predicted that there was going to be a, you know, terrorist attack coming, and it was going to be blamed on Osama bin Laden, and then, you know, of course, he was right. And then, of course, 2 months later, he you know, he was murdered by the IRS for not paying his taxes, because that's apparently what the IRS, you know, does, you know, to you for, you know.
Are you saying? No, he was suicide, or he was murdered. That's what they said. Oh, we killed you, because we know that's not true, though, right? Cause
oh yeah. I say that sarcastically. He murdered because he knew the truth, and he claims that because he was once a military man or something, and he claims that he saw some secret documented files when he was a member of the South Pacific fleet back in the 70s. And, you know, you said that it was like a timeline on what's to come, like with AIDS and, you know, war in the Middle East and all that. And after that was done with the military, and he spent many years of research, and he even came out in a book in 1991 called Behold the Force.
I have that, but I haven't read it yet, but I have it. I own it. I'll probably get to that book in a couple months because I'm reading a few books I'm trying to get through now, but I definitely, I haven't looked into a lot of his work. I know I should because I'm truthing, but I know who he is, and I haven't read that book, but I'm going to. And when I interviewed Barricade Garage, he said that book was very special to him because he said he went to prison and then that book was like on the banned book list. So he, you know, they had to sneak the book in to like read it. He was like, this is one of my most prized possessions because I was like, oh shit. So I have a few more books. My goal for 2021 is to get through all my books. And I keep buying books, man. I'm a bookaholic, but I'm like, I need to read them. I need to finish reading them, you know, but it's so, yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I got that book for my Aunt Joy as a Christmas gift. So she read some of it so far, but she's dealing with a lot right now because she just discovered like a couple months ago or something that, you know, that she has cancer. So, you know, she's, you know, basically going through a difficult time right now trying to, you know, deal with chemo and radiation and everything.
Wait, I'm sorry, who's dealing with chemo and radiation? I missed that.
Oh, no, with my Aunt Julie, I gave her, you know, that book, Behold the Pale Horse, for Christmas, and she read a little bit of it so far, but you know, it's hard for her to do a lot of stuff because she just recently found out that she has cancer, so.
You should do, like, if you can get this documentary, I think it's a docu-series. It's about $100, but it's worth it, and it's called The Truth About Cancer. You should get that to her. That would probably really help. I think, especially nowadays, people need to see video, and they need to see, doctors that really have been successful in curing people with cancer through natural means, and they need to see other people that have had cancer that have been cured for them to really get it.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell her not to do chemo. Like, radiation is good, but chemo...
No. Not even radiation's not. None of that shit, no. No poison, no cut, no burn.
Not even radiation either?
No, dude, you should watch that. And I recommend that docuseries for anybody because I think the most important thing is for people to have this knowledge before they're diagnosed with cancer, because I think once you get that diagnosis, you really go into like a fight or flight defense. Your brain gets into a fear mode, and it's really hard. And especially, you know, the doctors, you know, they get kickbacks for the chemotherapy treatments they recommend, and people are very like, you know, they try and fearmonger you because that's all they know. They're like, if you don't take this chemo, you're gonna die. Also, check out this guy. His name is Chris Beat Cancer. He has I think he has a YouTube. Good, just Google Chris Wark of Chris Beat Cancer. He was he had stage 4 colon cancer when he was 26, and he beat it naturally, and he started doing all this research into cancer. And yes, he does have a YouTube because he interviews cancer. He interviews a lot of cancer victims that had cancer when they were younger. And not when they were young, but they beat cancer naturally. You know?
Oh, well, I have to definitely check him out.
Yeah, and he's funny. Chris Wark, but I think let me see if I can just look it up real fast. Just CHRSWARK, Chris Beat Cancer. We actually interviewed him on our podcast. If you go to the SoundCloud and listen, years ago, before he like blew up and became famous, we first were getting onto him. But ChrisBeatCancer.com. and he's wonderful, and he's funny, and he makes me. Oh, he wrote a book. I'm looking at his website, but you can just go to his website, but also go. He also has a YouTube channel, and yeah, he's wonderful. He's saved many lives, and just yeah, and he's great. He's an easy person to listen
I'll
to.
definitely,
Yeah.
I'll definitely look into it. But speaking about deadly, sicknesses and everything, it's, since I'm a person that's awake and I think you, agree with me, but I'm, one of these, conspiracy theorists who believes that COVID is hoax and everything. So, of course, with that being said, like hypothetically, say my angel, died of cancer, of course they're going to label it as COVID because they're trying to, fudge the numbers with, COVID cases and everything, and all it's leading to is, for next year was, I commented on it with the kid, two in the comment section. All it's leading up to next year, which is on Friday, Agenda 21, and that's another book I have to read. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called Behind a Green Mask, something like that. It was published in 2000.
I haven't heard of it.
It was published in 2012 by a woman by the name of, I'm looking her up right now, Rosa Coy. It's hard to pronounce her
It's okay.
last name. It's spelled Koire.
Corey?
And yeah, she came out with a book back in 2012 called Behind the Green Mask, and it's all about Agenda 21 and Agenda, them leading up afterwards in the year 2030 of Agenda 2030, and that's what happened. And she was right, and I'm surprised she was. I'm surprised she's still alive, and I'm sure she's. I'm sure they're still discrediting her because she's a lesbian, and when people try to get the truth out there, they always try to discredit people. With Bill Cooper, what I was talking about before, they discredited him before, while I was still alive, was calling him like a white supremacist and everything, even though he was part Native American and married a, Chinese woman.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, what?
So that doesn't matter. Look all people that are black white supremacists now. It's like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That. And I'm sure, I don't know, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you been around? For a while now?
2011.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, go to SoundCloud. We have this was started with me and my best friend. So she's basically working with her family right now. So I've just taken over. But we actually had a podcast, April Bowden and I. That's her name. 2011. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So go to SoundCloud. Just do Truth or Talk. I'll do a promo before. Because I need to get going, actually. But I'll do a promo before, and I'll pull up the SoundCloud so you can see it. And you can check out some of the podcasts there that we used to do for free. So.
All right. Well, it was good talking to you. What's your name?
Oh, hi. I'm Brando. I'm Verstein.
Christine?
Verstein? With a V. Verstein, yeah.
Verstein?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was good talking to you, and thanks for getting the truth out there. And I'm looking forward to your, next show and everything.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it'll be Friday at 10 a.m., so I will talk to you then. Okay, bye-bye.
Until then.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, guys. I think I'm about to wrap it up. Let me see. All right, so, again, please support this channel. I'm looking for a lot of subscribers to at low cost, right? Just little subscribers, just little money, $5 a month for 1,000 or more people, right? Or $2 or whatever, right? Subscribe starts at $2. I have a few people that are doing that. I'm so appreciative of that, because all that money adds up. And then, or Patreon, starting for $5 and all the way up to, 1,000. If you're just a crazy millionaire, you're like, I just got money to burn. Like, if you're a billionaire, like $1,000 is like $1 to you. So, anyway, but most people don't have that money. I just left that as an option. So, look at donating monthly to help support this channel. Also, follow me on BitChute. I'm on Brighteon. If you're on there, I'm not really active there yet. Might be in the future. I'm just trying to see if it's worth it. I'm on Steemit. I'm on DTUBE. I'm on Facebook. Here is the SoundCloud. I'll scroll up to the top. You can see my homie, my sister from another Mr. April Bolden. She is the other host. This is Truth or Talk is actually started by 2 people, but I'm actually taking over. But these are all the podcasts that we did, all the interviews that we did. Go check it out. Think you guys will like it. Please purchase my Conspiracy Realism course. Thank you. I noticed I had a couple purchases. Thank you so much for that. Shop. You guys can buy things. Artwork, informational zines, bumper stickers, t-shirts. Please subscribe to my music channel. It's going to be more active. I have some great songs here and a rap if you want to listen. I will be relaunching my music campaign soon. Also, please subscribe to my backup channel. If I can get 1,000 subscribers, I can probably be monetized if they haven't figured out who I am. And that's it. Anything else that the clips that I showed, they're going to be mentioned. I'm going to leave a link for them at the bottom in the description section. So, all right, guys, the next show will be at Friday at 10 o'clock. Also, check out the latest interview I did with David Wives. We talked about flat Earth. I know there's a lot of controversy in the comment section, but if you watch the video, I said that if I want to stay integrity of this channel, I did want to have people on that I maybe necessarily didn't agree with. I wouldn't say that I'm a flat earther, but I'm not. I also don't want to be so close to the idea that I'm not going to even have a conversation with somebody that wants to talk to me about that. So I think it's important that we do that, as truth seekers, to at least, talk to people and not just shut them out. I have a lot of people that I know a lot of people that I respect that, would consider themselves flat earthers. Personally, I try and focus on stuff that I can do something about, but, I'm not even, I wouldn't even be surprised because I know that we've been lied to about so much. It's not something I'm offended by. And I don't think it's going to be a bad thing. I know people are like, oh, you're going to sink your channel. You're done for. Oh, my God. Why are you entertaining? I forgot to talk about this. Why are you entertaining? Here, I'm going to put up the interview really fast. Why are you even entertaining that, that person? But, like I said, I know how people look at me when I talk about vaccines and how they just dismiss me. So maybe, I'm just thinking maybe... And I thought this was interesting that I did get fact-checked by Wikipedia. I'm like, because they only fact-check stuff that oh, damn, this dude's like, this channel lost all credibility. Oh, no, oh, my God. If you're not smart enough to immediately debunk everything this guy says, then please don't call yourself a truther. You hurt the movement. Go back to elementary school. Oh, man, somebody's dick got shriveled up. Not mine, because I don't have one, but I don't know. Fuck. So yeah, well, I just know the comment section is going to get at him. Well, he can fucking unsubscribe. You can call 1-800, I don't give a fucking shit. How about that, dude? I think I'm going to write that. I'm going to reply to him in person. Watch a live trolling right now. I'm going to say, pull up your panties and call 1-800. I don't, wait, I gotta put it in all caps. 1-800. How about this? I don't give. And I hate the hypocrisy that exists in the Chute movement. It's the same thing. You guys know how I feel about vaccines and stuff, and people treat me the same way. And, I don't know. So I just always wanted to just kind of have, just talk to people and be open to, yeah, it's, and I know, it's just, I don't know. Anyway, ha ha ha. I think that guy unsubscribed. What do you guys think? Anyway, okay, guys. I will see you guys Friday at 10 o'clock Central Time, and have a great